Joining us this morning for our panel is Dame Julie Christie, documentary producer. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good to see you. And Rawdon Christie, real estate agent, former broadcaster, is back with us in the studio too. Good morning.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you both. Dame Julie, what do you think of this move by TVNZ?
I mean, it's really good. It's a really good, bold move by TVNZ. I'm not convinced about the outbidding thing. I think that Sky would have been very calculated on what they thought they could afford to pay, and they probably set a level and then decided that was all they were going to pay. And they're a public listed company. They're pretty smart at that sort of thing. You really notice which sports Sky does let go. But wow, it's great for TVNZ. It was really timed that they made a very bold move. This is probably the boldest move since the introduction of TVNZ Plus, which has been so successful for them. So to put something like this in the paywall, behind a paywall, I don't think they would have done it if the All Whites hadn't qualified. So, you know, it's smart. It's got to happen. They're fighting for their survival. It's a great move.
Yeah, get in their boots and all. That's it. I mean, it's interesting because Sky, since Sky bought Three Now, I don't even know what the term is, that gave them access to a great sort of easily accessible digital platform as well. So I'm absolutely with you. They've obviously made a very calculated decision because they've got the platform to be able to show it. So it obviously always comes down to the numbers for them. But for TVNZ, this is a line in the sand that they're saying, you know, this is our future.
This is the way we're going, the direction we're going, and we can't rely on the traditional advertising stuff, right? We've spoken about this before.
They had to make a bold move. You know, it's smart. I mean, I think we all probably realised during COVID what a good platform TVNZ Plus is. You know what, their programming is really excellent. In fact, it's so much of it is free. It's not free to them. They pay for it. They pay a lot of money for it, and it's still, you know, it's still not exactly overloaded with ads. There's a few, but not many. So, I mean, I think they're doing a good job, and it's a really good, bold move. But I wouldn't say that necessarily Sky, you know, outbid
was outbid
as a bold word.
House prices. So we've got the leader of the opposition on the show this morning saying he wants them to stabilise. We've got the Prime Minister saying he wants them to go up, but modestly, and we've got Chris Bishop saying he wants them to go down. Rawdon, you're in the business. I'm thinking you want them to go a certain way. How do you really feel?
Look, to be honest, it's just when they're going down, no one's really happy. It's been a tough old couple of years, and you know, even when we're getting great deals done, I mean, sure, people appreciate the work, but you know, vendors, everyone feels slightly better when they feel they're wealthier, and they feel wealthier when their house prices are going up. And everyone's that little bit happier. I mean, maybe it's a little bit, I don't often agree with Mr. Hipkins, but I think this idea of growing the ability to buy is probably more of a focus. The wealth, I think, making it easier to borrow. But it's really interesting in our household, where obviously I'm in the business and I talk houses a lot, but my youngsters who are just entering that world of getting some sort of an idea of investment, and you know, they're all just beginning to get jobs and things, they sort of, their investment future is not in housing.
Yeah.
They're not looking there. It's already too far stretched. They're in the share market.
Totally.
So, and that's a pretty positive thing as well, because we've always been trying to call for some sort of balance. But yes, house prices up, please.
And things like Sharesies have helped, and KiwiSaver as well.
I agree with Chris Bishop in the fact that we need to, that houses are an unproductive investment. You know, we need to be investing in growth, and investing in houses isn't investing in growth. Investing in growth is about investing in business and employment and things like that. So we're so obsessed with this. I've got to have a house by the time I'm 30 or whatever. You know, actually, I'm a big believer in if you owned your own small company by the time you were 30, you're way better off than if you owned a house. And so, yeah, the obsession with owning a house, I think we need to get over it and think, you know, how do we create a better long-term you know, livelihood for ourselves through investing in business and productivity rather than in bricks and mortar.
That said, although people who own houses spend a lot of money on their houses, and we sometimes forget the phenomenal amount of money people spend on maintenance, on improvements, and that has to come into be factored in as well. So.
It's a really good point. Owning a business before you're 30 would feel as satisfying, if not more satisfying, than owning a home. Because I always look at business owners who will mortgage the house or sell the house to save the business. And I'm like, man, but it's a mindset thing.
A lot of that happened during COVID, really sadly. You know, a lot of people mortgaged their houses to save their businesses, but I think, you know, a business which is turning over $1 million is probably worth $5 million, but way more valuable than a $1 million house.
And maybe our younger generation now sees that actually housing is a risk. It's no longer an assumed doubling every 10 years. There's a risk here, so why not pursue the business line? That said, I still think housing is a pretty good place to go.
You would.
And if you do want to sell one, then you know where to go. We talked this morning about gradeflation. This is the idea. Well, it's not even an idea. It's now, according to the New Zealand Initiative, a fact that more students, based on data they've collected, are getting A's now than ever before, and it's every year you get more and more students getting A's. The question is it because the students are getting smarter, or are the standards dropping? Dame Julie, what do you think?
There's got to be all sorts of reasons for it. I mean, if you want to be a conspiracy theorist, then obviously it really matters to our universities where they are in the world, as in, whether you're in the top 100 or the top 200. You know, since COVID, the numbers of foreign students coming here have plummeted, and that's a big hit on the economy, so there could be reasoning there. There could also be things like we need more doctors, so you've got to get an average A to get into med school, so you change your B pluses to A's or A minuses, then you get more candidates. So there could be all sorts of reasons for it. I have no doubt that there's pressure, but it's all about the economics of universities and them wanting to get students in.
Have you ever, and did you go to, you went to uni,
Yeah.
right? Have you ever actually used, or has any employer ever asked you, what did you get?
Not since the first job.
Yeah.
But then that's, once you get the first job, you're away, aren't you? So I'm a bit, you could be cynical and say, thinking of the university, saying, well, if we pass everyone with A's, they're going to need to do another degree in order to set themselves apart. So we're going to keep them for longer. But no, I mean, I think when thinking about the universities in my day, to get into Oxford and Cambridge, it was maybe 3 A's or 2 A's and a B. Now it's 5 A stars. So of course that's changed. But there's one thing I'm pretty certain of, that our youngsters are working a heck of a lot harder than we ever did. They're treating it, they're making a massive financial investment. I mean, my son is his 5th year law student. He literally sits and works for 8 hours a day to get this done to the highest possible level that he can. So maybe that is also stimulating the higher grades.
So we should stop slagging them off.
Yeah, I think it's probably a little bit of it is about
the conspiracy theory.
But there is also the reality that the kids are fighting a heck of a lot harder and competing a lot more.
It does make a huge difference where you sit in the universities of the world, on that list. It does make a big difference with foreign students. So I still think that's got to be a little bit to do with it. And I found this story interesting. The lecturers are like saying, oh yes, we're pressured to raise the grades.
A lot of them are saying actually the faculty kind of almost has in some cases mandates. You've got to get this number. And students feel, if they do better, they feel better, and students that feel better, you get more off,
And they stay longer.